Hello, welcome to Alchemy Animation. It is a fifth part of a series called The Invisible Princess is Bored Again Today. Let's begin. Helena was thinking to hide herself somewhere during the party as her father's wish, until she is allowed to go home. However, that was not going to happen. 30 minutes later, someone spilled a wine on her dress. That person said, "My goodness, it's my bad." It was an aristocrat. She said, "What should I do now? My hand felt so slippery just now. I am afraid that you have to change your clothes now, young lady." Helena was looking towards her and thinking that I guess I just can't stay still like this any longer, and I will show you who you are messing with. Few minutes ago, when the party was just begun, even if hundreds of years go by, the rule of the party doesn't change. People focus on the beautiful and powerful. Which means everyone's focus is on us, me and Leonard. Nobles were gathered around me. They were trying to talk to me and saying that, "Princess, are you going to join our book reading session?" Another one said the Duke must invest in our family's project, or do we have? On the other hand, Leonard was also gathered by nobles. The noble girls were saying that we have seen the sword fight last time. You were amazing. Everyone's attention would be on us. Helena said it's so great to see all of these wonderful people. And then she was thinking that it's so annoying. She looked towards Leonard and thinking that he is doing quite well. I can slowly sneak away now. She said, "I apologize for interrupting the conversation. It's my first time in a place like this. I just need some rest." She was thinking that by saying it, all of you can go away now. Instead, they became more energetic after hearing this. One of them said, "Let me bring something to drink." Another one said, "Then I will walk you to a room." And the third person said, "Come with me to a quiet place." She was thinking that what's this all about? It's how awkward. I have no reason to decline them. She was about to decline them, but then Leonard came towards her. He said, "Excuse me, but I will escort her." She looked towards him and said, "Brother, you are here." He smiled after hearing this. The other male aristocrat said, "Yeah, sure." Helena was thinking that thanks to my brother, I'm alive. After a while, she was sitting on a sofa. She was saying, "Thank you, Leonard. I even planned to run away." He said, "I can see it just by looking." He asked, "Does any jerks gather around you?" She said no. She was thinking that how does my angelic brother also use words like jerks? Who did he learn that from? The person who only writes beautiful words in the piece, is it me? With an innocent face he said, "If there are any of these kind of jerks, just tell me, I will deal with them." Helena was thinking that it's my first time seeing brother this cruel. He started to walk away from her and said, "I will get some drinks for us." She said, "Please come back later." She was thinking that he came out, and ladies gathered all around him. She was in a total silence, and she was feeling great about it. She closed her eyes and thinking that I can finally be comfortable. But then suddenly someone said, "Please excuse me, princess." She opened her eyes and thinking, what? Children like this usually have ill intentions. Helena said, "If you're looking for my brother, come to the hole." The girl said, "No, I'm looking for you, Princess Feresca." She introduced herself by saying, "I'm Ulrika Brandt." Helena was thinking that if it's Brandt, then it's the Empress family, Duke Valor. There was a conflict that lasted for a long time between them and Prince Caesar. Caesar stopped that woman from becoming the Empress, and she stopped him from becoming the crown prince. The two of them both hold great power, so the Game of Thrones is still going on. This year Caesar became the crown prince. Helena was thinking that her relationship with Caesar can't be good. So why is she here and talking to me? Helena asked, Do you need anything? The girl replied, "I heard that you are close to His Majesty, the prince." Helena replied, "That's right." After hearing this, all of the girls started to laugh. The girl said, "I'm sorry, lady. I did not know how to react to silly rumors like that. Sometimes there are nobles who try to get close to him by talking, Helena said, so there really are people like that. She was thinking that, are they messing with me? The girls were talking to each other. They were saying, you clearly are not that kind of person, yes. Another girl replied, of course, people from the village are always so naive. You don't know anything, you are as pure as snow. Helena was thinking that it's not like I was poisoned or stabbed, it's quite adorable. The girl said, but princess, I'm really worried about something. Helena closed her eyes and said, what is it? I really want to know. The girl came close to her and said, seems like you catch on quite well. You spread the rumor with that rustic dress of yours. What do you think your relationship with His Majesty is? And then she started to pour her wine on Helena's dress. She said, oh my, how rude of me. What to do? My hands were slippery. Helena was not reacting at all. She was sitting on the sofa. The girl said, you must change now, lady. With a smile, the girl said, lucky for you, I have a spare dress. I will lend it to you, come with me. The other girls were saying, yes, take Lady Brand's help. Helena was thinking that I can't bear it anymore. Of course the spare dress will be horrible. But if I make a fuss, I will become the shallow one. She stood up and said, it's all right, lady. Your hands are all wet, you should wipe them. And then she grabbed her hand and threw all of the wine on her face. All of them were very shocked. They were saying, Lady Brand, what did you do, princess? Helena said, oh my, how rude of me. My hands were slippery. You are a forgiving person who made mistakes. I'm sure you will let go of this, right? Helena said, you should put on your spare dress. Lady Brand, you are lucky that there's another one dress. And thanks for your advice about my dress. I will definitely deliver your words to His Majesty. The girl was crying after all of this humility because she never experienced it. Helena said, he picked this dress out for me, and to be more precise, Caesar's subordinate Rowena picked it. Helena shouted all of the girls' name who were standing with that girl. With a smile, Helena said, everyone, you should be smart if you want to do bad things. Thanks for your concern with the Duke of Feresca today. I will remember it and pay you back later on. After hearing this, all of the girls were shocked. Helena was thinking that you are really cute with your faces all pale like this. She said, I hope to see you again, Lady Ulrika Brandt. And then she started to walk away from them. She was thinking that this is all just childhood memories, right? But let's not meet again, you uncultured ladies. Ulrika was very angry after all of this humiliation. She was thinking that I will curse you, Helena Feresca, you just wait and watch. After a while, Helena was sitting on a sofa. She was trying to clean her dress. But it's not getting better. She threw the tissue and said, it's okay. I need not go to the hall with this excuse. She was thinking that, what was Lady Brand's plan? As a brand, she is closely connected with the Empress. Its authority is considerable. Besides, even though he is a lord, he is deeply interested in politics. So unlike our family, he is a powerful force. She said, what is the reason for a man of such a family have to quarrel with Feresca? She was remembering the conversation with that girl. After that, she was thinking that maybe she will do all of this because she likes Caesar. If that's the case, it's kind of cute. But the way to express jealousy was not cute though. And then suddenly she heard a voice. They were saying, His Majesty Prince Caesar Wintergrey enters. Helena was thinking that the main characters finally came. After all, I had to go and see your face. She looked towards the window, and there was a snowfall. She came close to the window and grabbed it. She was looking outside of it, and said, I should try it on a lot to see how old-fashioned the dress is. Even in my previous life, I had no interest in clothes or accessories. Before becoming an emperor, I was wallowing in the streets or in battlefields. And after becoming emperor, I wore armor a lot more days. I don't have any good memories of the imperial palace. She was looking towards the window's mirror and said somehow I miss those days. But then suddenly someone came from behind her and said I found you. It was Caesar. She looked towards him and asked, Caesar, why are you here? He said I could not see master, so I asked and they said you were here. She said as my dress got dirty, I can't come outside. Caesar said really I thought it was annoying, so you were avoiding it. Helena said of course that's also the reason. Caesar laughed and said indeed Helena. She said the main character of the party, can you stay here? He said I came here to say hello, so it's okay for a moment. She was thinking that when I met Caesar, I was going to punish him for the letter. But seeing him looking tired from preparing this and that, I could not say anything. She can tell by his looks that he don't want to go outside. She was thinking that now I can feel it. You became the crown prince safely, Caesar. She said you are so arrogant just because you are taller than me. He said I was originally taller than you. She replied I don't even look up like this. He said yes, looking up at a disciple is unpleasant, isn't it? He came very close to her and said now it's okay, right? She pushed him away and said it's too close. He said what should I do? Should I sit on my knees? She said that's good. I prefer to look down, so sit on your knees. With a calm face he said I can't live really. And then he sat on his knees. He asked are you satisfied with this, master? She said it's perfect. She closed his eyes by her hands and thinking that, if anyone sees the crown prince on his knees, they will be terrified. But I don't think I will ever be able to say this if we make eye contact. With a blushy face she said, Happy 18th birthday Caesar, thanks for being born. After saying that the sweat was coming all over from her body. She was so embarrassed after saying these words. In a wavering voice she said, say something? I'm going to die of embarrassment. With a blushy face he smiled and said thank you. He grabbed her hand and said, actually I came here to hear those words. She said if you go out to the hall, you can hear more people. He replied it makes sense to hear from you. With a blushy face he said I was born for you, Helena. She was thinking that I can feel the moisture in Caesar's voice when he says that. All I could do is give him a hug. This stubborn and lonely disciple says he was born for me. So thank you for being born into this world where I am, Caesar. After the party ended there were 3 free days. Leonard and Helena were sitting together. Leonard asked Helena what do you want to do in 3 days? She replied I just want to stay at home and sleep. He said I expected that. She asked what about you, brother? Are you going to meet people at parties just like mother and father? You received many invitations from the young girls at the party. He said no, I'm not interested in that. I've always wanted to join the Knights troop. I'm going to the capital anyway, so I'm planning to try it out. Helena clapped for him. She was thinking that, oh my, have you ever been such a good student like this? You are doing a good job, brother. So after you leave the house will be empty. With a smile she was thinking that how exciting, I must get a really deep sleep and roll around all I want. On the next day Prince came to visit her. With a smile he said hello teacher, I have come to visit. Helena was not happy at all. She was thinking that oh my, was my dream too unrealistic? She stood up and shouted, you are the crown prince, how come you have so much free time? He said I feel sorry for those who have been so busy that they could not sleep. She said then go so I could sleep. He said actually I heard that Leonard is visiting the Knights troop today. Helena was thinking that this jerk, he is not even listening to me. Caesar said you are clearly just wandering around the house doing nothing, am I right? So I came here personally to play with you. But then suddenly she was pushing him out of the door and saying goodbye Caesar. He was saying, Helena, why are you using so much strength? You are so mean. Are you just going to wish me a happy birthday by words only? With a blushy face he said, think of playing with me as a birthday present. She was thinking, what kind of birthday present? She said, what do you want as a birthday present? I can just give it to you. He said, really? Then can you build a villa near the beach? After some time his servant were saying that, Your Majesty, will you be okay without us? The prince said, I know how to take care of myself, so don't follow me. Helena was not happy at all. She was thinking that, why is this happening again, you annoying guy? She looked towards him and thinking that, can a crown prince go around without any servant like that? Didn't I teach him anything? He grabbed her hand and said, let's go, Helena. She shouted, why are you grabbing my hand? He replied, so you would not escape from me? She replied, you don't need to worry, you came all the way here, how can I leave? It's even more annoying, he said, how can I trust you? Did not you escape all by yourself at the festival last time? After hearing this she don't have anything to say to him. She was looking towards him and thinking that, fine, I will do what you want today. After a while at a market, the prince was saying that, Helena, take a look at this. She was thinking that I am doing this only because it's your birthday present. After that they taking a tea break. Helena said, I hope you will have a wonderful time. Then she asked, why are we shopping for my clothes? Is it my birthday present or something else? He asked, what do you think? It's more fun buying things for you. She replied, I came here because of you anyway, so let's buy clothes for you. He said, I only use tailored stuff so I don't need these. She said, it's unbelievable. You really don't want to buy anything. Did not you say you want a villa? He laughed and said, if it's possible, I want to purchase Helena. In an angry way she asked, do you want to die? She was thinking that this jerk is not listening to me. Since when did he become this smooth? He used to get angry whenever I teased him. His personality got worse as he grew up. Is it not going well at the Imperial Castle? He asked, how was the party yesterday? She replied, let's see. I only came out to get some light on my face at first, then I was in my room all the time, even after you left. He said, did you meet anyone you like? Which piqued your interest? In an angry she said, this again, you jerk. He asked, no one at all? She said, not really, but after a moment, she was about to say that there is someone. The prince was shocked. He shouted, there was someone. She replied, coming to think of it, I think I got closer to Lady Brant. He said, Brant, is that so? Both of them went silent. She was thinking that Brant belongs to the Empress family. I think I was being too insensitive. I must change the topic. She was looking towards the present. She said, I have something to tell you. I actually wanted to give you it at the party, but it was inconvenient, so I'm giving it now. He was surprised after seeing the present. He said, what's this? Is it really for me? For real? Can I open it? She said, it's nothing much really. I hope you are not expecting anything. He opened the wrapper and found a scarf. He was surprised and said, Helena, I thought you could not knit. It's really awesome. And then he wore it on himself. She was very angry and said, this kid, give it back to me. He replied, this is the present I appreciate the most among other ones. She said, did not you receive all sorts of treasure at the party? He replied, they were not really for me, but for the family. This is my own, it's really the best, thank you so much. She was thinking that I have lived with Caesar for so long, so I know he's really happy right now. She said, I did not know you liked handmade scarves so much. How unique of you. After hearing this he laughed and said, right, that's correct, I really like them. Enough to risk my life. She said, you should not risk your life for a wool scarf. With a blushy face he replied, stop making me laugh, Helena. She said, what's so funny? She was thinking that, seriously, it's getting harder and harder to understand this student. After a while she was thinking that, the night on my way home on the chariot, it was very beautiful, and like the countryside, the night in the capital is dazzling. The beauty hasn't changed at all. 500 years ago I lived in this city. But why do I feel like it's more beautiful now than then? It makes no sense. They were sitting on the chariot. Caesar was asleep. She was seeing Caesar and trying to wake him up, but he is in a deep sleep. That's why he is not responding at all. She was thinking that he looks totally tired. I should let him rest more later on. She came close to him and said, "Caesar, wake up, we have arrived." He looked towards her with hunter eyes and said, "Oh, Helena." But then suddenly the wheel of the chariot collided with a stone, which unbalanced the chariot for an instant. Because of that, Caesar was about to fall towards Helena. Due to that unbalance, the lips of both of them touched each other. Caesar was apologizing to her. The face of both of them become red. Helena said, "The road is really bumpy here." In their mind they were thinking that we touched each other. But they were not happy at all. She was thinking that it could have been romantic. But due to the collision, they were feeling a pain in their teeth. She was thinking that I almost broke my tooth. She said it hurts. Caesar said it can't be, no way. This would not work. She asked, "What are you seeing?" With a blushy face he said nothing happened. She asked, "What do you mean?" She was thinking that, does this jerk hate being in contact with me that much? After a while the driver said, "We are here." Helena opened the door and said, "I will go first." Caesar asked Helena, "Why are you rushing?" She was thinking that, "You are a jerk, Caesar." She entered into the imperial mansion. Caesar was saying Helena's name. After entering into the mansion, Leonard was standing there. He asked Helena, "What's wrong with your lips? Your face is swollen too." She was shocked after hearing this. She was thinking that, is it that obvious? She replied about that, "It was really shaky on the ride, so my lips touched." But then she suddenly stopped. She said, "I bit them." He said, "Your face is red too. Are you having a cold? Should I call a doctor?" She was thinking that, am I embarrassed? Me, the Empress, she turned away her head and said, "It's fine. I will be better after some rest. I'm not sick." Leonard said, "You are not looking okay at all." She was thinking that, sorry for lying, brother, but I can't say that, Caesar, and I touched lips. I was angry, so I should get back to the headquarters, where I would not run into Caesar. She was laying on her bed and thinking that, I must go play to forget about this. 2 days later, snow is piling up in the capital. She was thinking that my schedule to go home will be interrupted. Her lip was still swollen. Hamilton said, "Listen, lady, even if I told His Majesty that there was a rehearsal for the crowning ceremony since noon, but he practiced swordsmanship all morning and showed up drenched in sweat." Caesar said, "That's good. What is bad about it?" "Of course practicing will make me sweet." Hamilton replied, "What do you mean you have to put on formal clothes? How can it be?" Helena was thinking that they are here since the morning. Why must it have to do something with me every time? Please go back. Leonard have already left to meet the knight's troop. She was thinking normally there would not be any reaction to Hamilton's complaint. Hamilton said, "It's His Majesty's fault that I'm hurt. You should say something." With a serious face, Helena said, "Of course Caesar is a bad guy." She said, "I don't know the details, but Caesar is bad." He stood up and said, "What's that supposed to mean?" With a crying face, Hamilton said, "Indeed, you can see my hard work." She said, "It's been hard on you, Viscount." Hamilton said, "You don't say. It's not like I wanted to give up just after a few times." Caesar said, "No one is stopping you. If you want to leave, just leave." Hamilton said, "Look at that. I told you that he's been treating me like this. He even separated from me and totally disappeared. I'm not sure if he got hit, but his lips were swollen." After hearing this, both Caesar and Helena became active. They stood up and said, "Be quiet. Don't talk about it." and don't ever mention that." Hamilton asked, "Why are you suddenly on the same side, thinking back you had an injury on your lips as well?" He said, "Did you two did something by chance?" Both of them were embarrassed after hearing this. Caesar said, "It's not that." She also said, "No way, we did not do anything." Hamilton replied, "I did not even finish the sentence, and you are defending yourself." Helena was thinking that I failed. I was so embarrassed that I overreacted. I must not let anything slip. She said, "Viscount, do you know the Bible about the Ballon Monastery in the mansion?" In an exciting voice, Hamilton said, "The handwriting in it is really famous for being neat. Is it yours? Then it will be so expensive." She said, "Let's go and see now." Hamilton said, "It's such an honor." Caesar said, "Helen, I want to join." In an angry way she looked towards him and said, "It's just me and him, so you stay here." She was thinking, "That you fool, I'm trying to change the topic. What will people think if two people with the same lip injury keep showing up together?" In a bright way Hamilton said, "Please wait here, His Majesty. If you're too curious about that book, it will be damaged." Both Caesar and Helena were not saying anything. They were remembering the moment when their lips touched each other. With a blushy face Caesar said, "Fine, so be it." Hamilton said, "Let's go, lady." She was looking towards him and thinking that, "Caesar, you are such a jerk. You totally breaks my heart." After a while Hamilton was very happy, and with the sparkling eyes, he was reading the book. While reading it he was saying, "It's my great honor to be able to read these books, Princess." She was sitting on the chair and thinking that it's been a long time. But he is still not tired. He must like books a lot. She was thinking that I did all of this because Hamilton asked about Caesar's lip injury. And I did all of this to cover up that thing. At that time I said harsh thing to him, but I did not mean anything. "I know you are doing a hard work," she said. "I guess it's because of the preparation for the throne." Hamilton said the ceremony was not supposed to be done early, but in a relaxed way she said, "Indeed, because Caesar is doing such hard work." Hamilton looked towards her and said, "Actually, I came here today to complain to you, Princess." She asked, "What do you want to complain about, Viscount?" He said, "The coronation is causing so much stress. I want him to be more comfortable, even if it's just a bit." "Do you know why the party is held before the coronation?" Helena replied, "I heard it was supposed to be at the same time." Hamilton said, "The only way to think about it is, the prince wants to be out of this quickly." Helena was thinking that holding the coronation in winter, not in the new year, is to confirm the schedule of the party. "The reason why it's such a rush is," she said, "the imperial consort. The reason behind is because the imperial consort is about to become the empress." Hamilton shook his head. She was thinking that if she becomes the empress, and if that will become the case, then in place of Caesar, the empress' son will try to get the crown prince title. She said, "So that's it." I did not understand why father kept joining those social meetings. Feresca is officially on Caesar's side. She said, "It's hard to get the news because we are so far from the capital." He replied, "If you want, I can be your informant." She said, "Are you joking? You are not choosing my father, not my brother, but me." Hamilton said, "Yes, I'm serious." She was thinking that Hamilton was always seeing me as a grown-up. She asked, "Why are you saying this to me?" With a smile he said, "It's just a reward for showing me these books." She was thinking that the gratitude's having a burden on me. Actually, I can act like I don't know about all of this Rus coronation. But it's different when it comes to my disciple. She said I would get up first. She came outside of the room and found that Caesar was asleep on the sofa. She came close and sat beside him. She was thinking that even when he is in the most beautiful and glamorous place in the empire, he can only sleep comfortably in this small house. While touching his hair she said, "Don't you have anywhere else to sleep but my house?" She was thinking that I heard he became the emperor, although I know it better than anyone. I put a horrible curse on him. She said if something similar happens just tell me. Don't just keep it to yourself and act as nothing happened. I said I could be the fool and you can be fooled. She was thinking that it's not that I don't know how you feel. I mean just think about all the guilt that I'm going to feel, you stubborn guy. And then suddenly Caesar opened his eyes and stood up. He asked Helena, when did you come? She replied, I came just now. I failed to draw on your face, what a shame. With an anger he said, I don't think I will be able to sleep in front of you anymore. She smiled and said, I'm kidding, just be comfortable. After hearing this with a smile he said, I will try to sleep comfortably. Both of them were watching each other. Caesar moved his hand towards Helena and said, the wound is not healed yet. And then with a blushy face he touched her cheek and kissed her on lips. After kissing her he came back to his position. Helena was surprised. She was thinking that something just happened. He asked Helena, can I kiss you? After hearing this she grabbed his hand and said, you should have asked me first before you do it. He said, I can do it again. And then both of them started to kiss each other very intensely. She was thinking that is it all right to do it with my disciple? But it's something I should try out of curiosity about this world. First kisses are all like that. If you feel good about someone then you can have a kiss with them. It's nothing special, just him and I. After a while she was thinking that the snow have stopped. Now Leonard and I could leave the capital according to plan. Hamilton and Helena came to see me off, and Caesar did not came. Leonard said, did you want to meet? She asked, who? He replied, I mean Agathe. The chief maid did not allow it, so she could not come. She said, seriously, that's the reason she did not come? She replied, of course I wanted to meet. Once again she looked towards the mansion, and said, I want to meet so much. And the time flew by. The third summer after Caesar became the crown prince has passed. Last time Leonard joined the knights group, the commander of the knight troop were shouting, are the guys going on a field trip? Make the enemies fear us, train 100 times harder than usual. The commander said, you will probably pass out first. All of the other members were not able to complete the training, but Leonard is a different case. With a smile he said, indeed the training is intense. After seeing his performance with a crying face the commander said, welcome to our training program. He was thinking that it's great to have a talent. She was thinking that just like that Leonard captured the commander's attention, and was enrolled in the knight's school. That's why I could only meet Leonard once a month. Caesar also came to visit the Duke every summer, but he could not stay long like before. Because now he has more authority in his hands. That's also mean losing his freedom. Agathe is also obsessed with the sword. She's obsessed to the point that his hands are all swollen. Seems like she and I can only interact thanks to the sword. That effort has shown that we must not give up and always strengthen ourselves. The fourth summer started from those things. Caesar came to visit the Duke again. And he brought something annoying. She was reading that document, and said the sword fight held by the imperial family. Caesar and Leonard were also sitting there. Caesar said this is an event that is held every 4th year. She asked, what's this about? It's like a party for the nobles. Caesar said, but this year's rules are different. It has always been for those with the title of knights. But from this year you can join this. Agathe was coming towards them with some food. With a smile Caesar said it's hosted by the imperial family. But there is no restriction on who may enter. I think there will be many talented people this year. It's going to be interesting. Helena was thinking that Leonard needs real experience anyway. She was looking towards him and thinking that I don't know if I should be worried, but I think he can handle this. Agathe came towards them and said I brought chocolate tarts for desserts. Caesar said, damn it, why must it be chocolate? It's only sweet, there is nothing delicious about it. Agathe said the prince doesn't like sweets, isn't that so? Let me prepare some egg tarts just for you. But of course by the time they're done, you should be gone. They again started to fight with each other. Helena was thinking that the two of them are always so determined, they are quite similar right now. She said people that are not nobles can also enter, a god can too, right? Agat was very happy after hearing this. With a blushy face she said, I can too. Helena said, Caesar, are you doing it for Agat, right? She was thinking that they argue every day, maybe they have some connection by hating each other. The prince said, are you crazy? That's not going to happen. Helena said he brought great information to Agat. Agat said it's not going to work. Apart from you I know nothing else. Helena said, don't you care about the competition? In a happy state she said, actually, I want to go out. And then she looked towards Caesar. She don't want to say anything to him, but due to the opportunity, she said, thank you, your majesty. Caesar was angry, but in a relaxed way he said, are you signing up for a duel? He closed his eyes and said, it's worth a try. It's a place for disciples to fight each other. Leonard laughed and said, of course, joining alone is a bit lonely. Helena said, what are you talking about? It's like he's being forced to do it. Caesar said, don't you know the prince is compelled to join? Helena said, is that so, since when? Leonard replied, since the Grey family took over Emperor Dante's throne. One of the things that resembled the imperial family is swords. His Majesty had to learn swordsmanship from an early age. Helena was thinking, that is there such a condition? Because I was too outstanding in the past life, I only wanted to live by, but it's a great chance to see how their abilities have grown. She said, fine then, let's all join. All of them were smiling after hearing this decision. At the night Caesar was standing outside of the mansion, Helena came from behind him and said, do you want to spend the night? It's dangerous to take the chariot home at night. Caesar said, I wanted to leave silently because it was too late. I only wanted to stop by on the way to Salisbury, so I have to get back quickly. She said, so the crown prince is really busy? He replied, it's all right. This is something I have prepared for. She said, are not you staying at the Duke's place again this summer? She was remembering the memories of her past time. She was thinking that it's supposed to be the time to stay at the Duke's palace. The prince said, I'm sorry, but I can't stay. She was thinking that being busy is understandable. She was remembering the moment when they kissed each other, and thinking that after that from 3 years ago, things became sophisticatedly awkward between the two of us. No one talked about it again. She was wondering, that is our relationship too weird? But what a shame, our relationship is falling apart because of our circumstances. Will there be short conversations like this again? He said, before you said you should become Lady Brand's friend at the party. Have you received the invitation to meet? She said, Brand. Why are you asking? He replied, it just came to my mind. She was thinking that it can't be a coincidence, there must be something. Lady Brand, who is always arguing. I will secretly ask Hamilton if I go to the capital for this competition. Caesar said, well, it's okay if you have not, then I will go now. He turned away his head and started to move towards the chariot. She was thinking that it's so soothing hearing the crown prince say goodbye, after hearing that the last party was held in a rush. If the ritual was done away with, maybe my disciple was pushed by the Empress. I don't know if it was because of the neglected work. She said, Caesar, if anyone bothers you, feel free to tell me. He looked towards her and said, Helena, I'm your disciple. She smiled and thinking, that right, I taught him not to get hit. She said, good kids can do what you do. He came towards her and said, so you mean kid stuff? And then he grabbed her in his arms. In a wavering voice she said, wait, what are you doing? He replied, I'm doing kid stuff. With a blushy face he said, you have to get charged, if you want to overcome obstacles. She hugged him back and thinking that he is such a strange guy. She said, here, charge up yourself. He laughed and said, "Thank you, teacher." She replied, "Sure, my disciple," and then he left. She was thinking that if this is what you want, I can give it to you. I can give you all that I have got, so come at any time. And then she entered into the palace and closed the door. She was thinking that I will support you in any way, my lovely disciple. That's all for today's video. If you want to know what happened next, then like and subscribe. Alchemy Animation YouTube channel.